I've slowed us way down. We're doing 0.6, so I think it's closer to 10. You know,
don't force it. How come we just net was on?
Not yet. You're getting there. There he is. There he is.
That's 10,
right.
baby. Yeah, it's 10 pounds.
It's 10, dude. It's easy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes. Grub. FHS grub. Yeah, we're going to do that. Well, this is Sinclair Graham, and that is his 10-pound rainbow. Not bad for our first day guiding here at Collins this fall. What do you think, man?
Good work.
Where'd you get that fish on?
The grub.
The grub, the red grub.
Red grub, yes.
That is a 10-pound rainbow.
It was naked also, right?
No, it had a little blade on it, a little mini willow leaf. And I have to compliment you. You fought it like a pro. That fish swam back and forth behind the boat, guys, for a long time. But what a beautiful fish. What you come to Collins Lake for?
Cal Kellogg.
Okay, thank you. Howdy, guys. Cal Kellogg here. It is time to talk foothills trout fishing, and it is good news all the way around. Due to early storms, water levels are on the rise. Water temperatures are dropping down into that prime 56, 57 degree range. Trout plants are underway and the trout are on the bite. I spent the last week up guiding at Collins Lake, and the conditions at Collins Lake are very characteristic of the conditions you're going to see at Lake Amador, where the fishing's been pretty darn good. At Lake Comanche, where the fishing's been pretty darn good. Here's what I saw up at Collins Lake. The water was stained. The water level has come up 17 feet. Trout plants are underway. Weekly trout plants are going off. And at times the fishing was outstanding. At other times the fishing was fair. We had to kind of grind through the slow periods, but we caught some really nice fish when they decided to bite. In fact, we caught fish up to 10 pounds, and man, what a fight that 10-pounder put up. So let me talk a little bit about the rigs that are working at Collins, rigs that are going to work at Comanche, at Amador, pretty much anywhere you choose to go right now in the Foothills region. So our #1 offering this past week was some sort of an attractor teamed with either a threaded night crawler or a grub, okay? And here's the 3 attractors we were using. For near surface work, we were running a turbo flasher, say water that was from 0 to 10 feet deep. We did well with the turbo flasher with a worm, a threaded worm on a slow death hook. And if you're not familiar with the slow death hook, it's one of these mustad hooks here that has the bent shank. Makes it really easy to get a worm to roll perfectly. So we did really well on the turbo flasher in the top 10 feet of the water column. Likewise, we did well in the top 10 feet of the water column with our mini willow leaf dodgers, and we were teaming these with both worms and grubs. If we wanted to drop down deeper than 10 feet, and we did pop a few fish down in that 20 to 30 foot, depth range, we upsized that willow leaf to a standard willow leaf dodger. And this one right here, this was the #1 color. It's got a little orange, a little yellow, silver, chrome back. That worked very well. We got some fish on that teamed with a grub. We also got some fish on that teamed with a worm. But hands down, our #1 offering in terms of blades and threaded baits was the mini willow leaf teamed with either a threaded night crawler or a grub. We scored with red grubs and we scored with pink grubs, and that combo worked very well. Trolled anywhere from about 5 to 10 feet deep. We were running on lead core, and it accounted for a fair percentage of our landed fish. The big fish, the fish you're seeing right now, the 10-pounder, which was landed by an angler named Sinclair Graham, it jumped all over a red FHS trolling grub, trailed behind one of our reggae colored mini willow leaf dodgers at about 8 feet deep. Really long fight, handsome fish, absolutely beautiful, and it was bright red in terms of the meat when we cleaned that fish. So that was very, very exciting. The other thing that's been producing a lot of fish for us has been trolling flies, and we are running these exceptionally shallow. Of course, we're teaming all of our trolling flies with a, but I lost it for a second. We're teaming all of our trolling flies with a wiggle disc, just like that. We're rigging them on 8 to 10 pound test fluorocarbon leaders, and we are trolling these with nothing more than a 1/2 ounce trolling weight, and we're trolling these 200 feet behind the boat, way behind the rest of our spread, and it's probably running 2 to 3 feet deep, maybe, and we are consistently catching fish on these all day long. Olive has worked well, particularly early in the morning. I think that's given the fish a pretty solid silhouette against the sky in the stained water. So Olive's been working early. Later in the day, pink toned creature flies like that there, sometimes we're tipping them, sometimes we're not tipping them. Those have been producing very well when the sun is high in the sky. I can't get them to go. You know me, I love orange. I can't get them to go on orange. If I put on an orange fly, I pick up spotted bass. If I put on a pink fly, I pick up trout. Go figure. Who knows? Fish will drive you insane. Anyway, but that's been the big picture out there. You know, really our number one rig, both for numbers and for, you know, huge fish, we caught a 10 pounder on it, has been the mini willow leaf and a grub, or the mini willow leaf and a worm. And you'll notice I'm running that grub on a slow death hook. I'm not using the power egg, nothing fancy. It's just one of our metallic flake 3-inch FHS grubs, trolled at about 1.8 miles an hour behind that mini willow leaf. It's been producing very well. The flies are working well at the same speed range, and of course, play with the grubs, but also play with the worms. We're running 4 rods right now. Typically, we've got out a grub, we've got out a couple worms, one on the downrigger with that large willow leaf. So when we mark some fish, we can play with depths, and we've got one of those flies working out there, you know, 200 feet off the back of the boat, and it's just kind of out there doing its thing, and all of a sudden that rod just bends over, and I think we've got fish to about 3.5 pounds on the fly, fish to 10 pounds on the grubs, and a fair number of pan-sized fish on our threaded worms. Anyway, that's the scene at Collins Lake. That's kind of the scene at any and all of the Foothill lakes right now. The water's rising, fish plants are underway, the water's stained, but it's in that prime temperature range where you can expect to get a lot of fish in the top 10 feet, but also be prepared to drop down a little deeper if you see some favorable marks. The deeper fish, they're not as inclined to go as the shallower fish, but hey, we're fishing 4 rods, so why not show them something? We've always got 3 rods up there in that top 10 to 15 feet of the water column. So that's the picture. If you would like to come out to Collins Lake and fish with me, I have a lot of availability coming up, and I also have an exciting announcement to make. But I've got a lot of availability coming up. We'll get out there, we'll have some laughs, we'll catch some fish, and I will really break down my system of trout trolling to you. And you guys see me here on the channel. You know my tactics work, my baits work, and I want to put some loaded rods in your hand. I want you to see what it's all about out on the water. Ask questions, let's interact, and really want to teach you the finer points of trout trolling. Or if you're an absolute beginner, man, we will take it from absolute square one. But I want to show you how I run worms, how I run my flies, and of course how I run those grubs for huge double-digit trophy trout. To celebrate Thanksgiving, I'm running a killer special in terms of guided trips. If you book a trip between November 21st and November 26th, Thanksgiving week, I'm booking those trips at $145 per angler. That's $20 off my regular rate. That is the lowest price ever. So once again, during Thanksgiving week, November 21st to 26th, I am booking trips at $145 per angler. To make things even sweeter, if you book the whole boat, a 3-angler charter, I'm gonna toss in one of my signature series trolling rods free of charge. You've seen the rods here on the channel. You see me fighting a big old trout on the rod right now. It's got a cork grip. It's got the awesome black blank, gold eyes, purple wrap. You've seen the rod. So to reiterate, between November 21st and 26th, I am booking spots for $145 per angler, my lowest price ever. And if you charter the whole boat, if you come with 3 anglers in your group, I'm tossing in one of my Signature Series downrigger rods free of charge. You can't beat that deal with a stick. I will see you out on the water. I hope to see you Thanksgiving week. Collins Lake, it's an awesome place in the fall. It's an awesome place to spend your Thanksgiving week. Wes and I will be up there every day taking it all in. And I hope to be out on the FHS patio boat with you yelling, "Fish on!" I'm Kel Kellogg. I'll catch you right here real soon. To book your trip, get on over to fishuntShoot.com. I'll catch you later.